Um, I need people to own their own business, okay? And when I say own your own business, I'm not talking about as a LLC, meaning that you are focused on your own business, okay? You're focused on your own business. Now, if you are tapping in, if you're on YouTube and you see I'm looking rough, I did not get to put on makeup this morning. Um, so I am like on one, but I'm not on one at the same time because my coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, this is the third day that I have gotten Dunkin's, and I have been very thoroughly pleased. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy today because it's just been, you know, it's just been amazing. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. But I had to step in and handle some business on threads. And it wasn't that I was defending the person, right? And I want to make sure I'm very clear. If you saw the tussle on my Facebook and threads, it was not a tussle per se. It was the fact that we have to stop policing other women's businesses. And if you're a woman, I really want to talk to you because men do it a lot, right? Men are very competitive. And this is why I said like when I teach things about coaching or coaching offers or it's really a holistic thing because I know how women are. And you coach per who you know you are and you study behavior, right? Successful coaches study behavior. Okay? Let me type this in and I'm going to finish this because I need to I need to give y'all the definition of something. And I wanted to bring up and I'm going to be funny when I say this too, but we need to know what minding your business actually means because I don't think people know what that means. And we have a very I told y'all here in the West, we have a very infantilized generation, even in the grown-ups. Why is this coming up? Jay, can you catch me up on what's happening? Okay, just to give you some foundation. And I've seen this many times. Okay. I want to make sure I'm very clear. This is not the only time I've seen this. There are coaches, right? There are coaches that charge that have different packages. Okay. Packages, offers. Okay. Just kind of just almost the same thing. Offers is when you're serving a person and you're adding on other layers of value without the extra cost, right? That it is irresistible. Did y'all hear what I said? It is you have a service of support, but you're adding additional layers of value where the person cannot like resist. They have to take it because like where else am I going to get this kind of offer? Okay. So when people have offers that are 100,000 or 300,000, and this is coming from somebody who has been in the space for a long time. Okay. I started coaching. And when I say coaching, meaning actually coaching people on camera with, or in person, where I sat down with people and actually came up with plans and all of these things. Packages are a little different because you're putting sessions into a time length. Like for example, 6 sessions for $600. Like, that could be a package, right? And you doing 6 sessions for, with a Zoom, and they get the replay, and that's what they pay for, right? And then but if it turns into an offer when someone you doing 6 sessions right? 6 weeks of sessions, and then you add on 2 courses. That's when it becomes an offer. And everything is related to that particular package. But it becomes an offer when you're adding on extra layers that are valuable and useful to the client. Something as simple as that, okay? Now, the person went online, and I talked about this yesterday. The person, posted 30 times a day, and she did a challenge for herself. This is not abnormal, by the way. When people go, like, post multiple times a day online, like they do it on Instagram, it's no different than running ads. It's no different, right? And you're doing this on social media to what? Attract attention. But she just told people what she was doing. She was just told people, she was like, I'm, challenging myself to do whatever, whatever. And so people came for her. They came. They was like, "Oh my gosh, why are you doing this?" And da 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 da. Da. And I just thought it was so interesting. People went to lengths, great lengths, to go down some rabbit hole and try to figure out who she is and what's her past and what she really does. Oh, she does this, and she was on TV, da 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 da. And it seems as if she's this. So everything was seen. It was perceived. It looks like she's doing this. And why is she taking advantage of people? What are you talking about? When you're charging $100,000, do you think people got $100,000? A regular person has $100,000 just sitting around? No. Obviously, that's going after people that can afford $100,000. I'm not going to pitch $100,000 to somebody that I know for sure cannot keep their lights on, and they're telling me about it. I'm not going to. And plus, she has multiple offers. Did y'all know that? She has multiple offers. Multiple. Hey, Sean. Hey, Courtney. Hey, Stephon. Hey, who's it? Kwana? Kiana? Nakima. Hey, Nakima. Hey, Monet. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Lori. Hey, Amanda. Welcome, y'all. Uh, Ice Coco. Ice Coco, what? I saw you yesterday. What's your first name? I'll be calling people on here. um, I want to make sure people understand, like, it's really about, like, it's multiple packages. It's multiple packages, okay? You don't you don't bring people in right at Lena, thank you so much. Lena, thank you. Welcome, welcome. Um, you're not bringing in people right at the 100K. She was saying that she has people at 225K, that she only takes 2 people a year. Obviously, that's not somebody that cannot keep their lights on, right? That's somebody else. So what is this? So if you're online and you're a high ticket coach, you're you're still attracting people because you have multiple offers. You have offers still, and then plus many times when I see 200,000, 500,000, those are people that you already worked with before. Does that make sense? These are people that want to go higher and higher. Like I have offers, like I told you, I have offers that are not on stand. They're not going to be on the link for $100,000. They're behind the gate. They're behind the veil. And things like that. You make the offer. You have the offer. You already have it. And then some people say, "Well, what in the world are you charging? This overinflation. It's overinflation for poor people. What are you talking about? There is something called a luxury market. Just because, and this is another thing too. Y'all don't think high ticket clients don't exist on TikTok. Yes, they do. They exist on TikTok. They don't post all the time. They're watching. There are company owners that My goodness. There are people out here that are wealthy and rich and affluent and watch TikTok and watch Facebook. They're not all on LinkedIn. What are y'all talking about? I got corporate training opportunities from Facebook, not LinkedIn, Facebook. One of my highest paid clients found me on Facebook. So when y'all get on here and say things, you just got to be careful of what you're saying because a lot of times women don't like direct. This woman, got online and she was saying, "Oh, I called her out and da da da," and she blocked me. I mean, no, she said I blocked her, and I said, "So the bully that tries to bully another person got the response that she wasn't ready for, and you blocked her. The bully blocked the bullied, the bullier blocked the bullyee because they snapped back, and you wasn't ready for that. I didn't call her name, but you were very specific in what. Now I'll go direct, and I responded to her. I was like, "This is not to defend. This is why the coaching industry is in the toilet." Because y'all feel like you have to get on here and do all this investigative work that no one asks you to do and think you're doing a favor to humanity and then you're mad. I'm telling you, it always happens. This always happens. I've been in the game long enough to watch people leave. They don't last. They don't last. They're not going to be in business for more than a year. I'm telling you. Anybody that gets online and have a field day with other people and want to bully other people. Hey, Sasha, bully other people and then bully other because because it's a low barrier entry, it's easier to go after coaches because you don't need a license, right? It's not required, but it is a part of the service industry. And the fact that some people don't understand that coaching is about the future. There is a lot at stake. Do you not understand the psychology behind why coaching is expensive? Because you're talking about the future that people don't know what that looks like because we've all been ingrained with past behavior. This is why a lot of people don't trust themselves to even invest at that level because we're talking about forward. We're talking about future. That's you don't have proof of that. The only proof you have is your ability to stick with the process long enough to go all the way to the end. And if you don't know how to do that because you've never done that in the past, no, you're not going to spend $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 because and people don't understand that when they spend that kind of money, you have to stick to a process. And people that charge 100K and people that invest at that level, they know that. They know there's a process, whether it's a done for you or not. And many times, especially with the kind of coach, you're working with that person 100% usually on identity work. Did you know that? No, you didn't know that. What would they pay 100K for? First of all, the same thing that you're charging $2,000 for because you don't know your worth. The same offer that you have that you're undercharging for is somebody else is paying 100K. That's you. That's why you feel bad all the time. No one ever. I just don't understand because you're undercharging. If you're getting results after results after results and you have changed people's lives over and over and over again, you're undercharging because that's self-concept. That's something is off within the way you see yourself. And we have all struggled with that. I said my highest offer was 50K. And you know everybody came from me and said, "Now you know that's too low." Everybody said that. You know why? You know why? Because they know my credentials. They know my they know the extent of the work that I've done. And you know what happened? I was immediately convicted. I didn't say, "Y'all, I'm gonna charge what I want to charge. I do what I want." No, I welcomed that and I said, "Well, let me do some work around that." Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I didn't take that as a dig. I didn't take that as I want to do what I want to do. I like charging this. I had people come in my DMs, Coach, 50,000 is really low for you. And all I could say was, I know. I know. Now, this is somebody who has spoke life into people, right? Who has worked extensively, deeply with people. And just because you tell me, like, and I'm not saying, well, y'all gonna pay it. No, it's the fact of that I know that we have to do the work and understand the type of client that would take that. It takes proximity. It takes proximity. You have to know millionaires. You have to have people that you talk to that can introduce you to other people. You have to be able to put yourself in spaces where higher net worth of people hang out at and online and your messaging. You have to speak methodically. But to get online and think you're doing God's work by going to investigate other people's work is a waste. First of all, it's a waste of time. And I'm not saying that there are not scammers out there. I'm not saying that. But let the scammed do their own due diligence and you stay out of the way. Look at how big companies operate. Bank of America does not have time to go after Wells Fargo and say, Wells Fargo is doing this. Can you? They don't do that. Have you ever seen big companies and corporations get online and talk about each other? You know who the only ones that do that, and they're doing it for entertainment is fast food restaurants. If you've seen Wendy's, if you've seen Burger King, Chick-fil-A, they do a little shade because it's entertainment. They have Gen Z social media strategists that do that because of low ticket. People like a little scramble and a little back and forth. They enjoy that kind of talk. Fast food restaurants in so many ways struggling, so they're trying to get Gen Z. I told y'all everybody is preparing for Gen Z. But y'all got to stop acting like it's not a luxury market. There is a luxury market. There are luxury realtors. There are luxury coaches. There are luxury mentors. I know someone that charges $1 million. They have $1 million offer. I've seen my own mentors pay mentors $500,000 cash in one pop. And you think I went in and did investigative work? You know what I did? I said, wow, that's an inspiration to me. That's inspirational to me. I didn't dare say, why would they do that? There are people start. I can't believe that they would give somebody 500K. Well, I don't understand. This sounds silly. You didn't get in business to be poor. Come on, Lori. Right. She said there's a neighborhood near me that's so luxury that streets don't even show up on Zillow. They don't want you in their spaces. Luxury markets and wealth markets are very exclusive, but that don't mean that they're not online. They're looking, they're scrolling too sometimes. They're not always posting because they're not doing that. But they are watching. And sometimes they do watch. You do have people that are also brand experts that are making 6, 7 figures, or influencers that want to be coached. Like, some of y'all don't understand. Like, and some influencers are making really good money. Some of them want coaching too. They have stuff going on. They're not perfect. Their people will pay. Owners of different companies and small businesses that are making $1 million plus in their businesses, cash net, and they want coaching. They want mentorship. I told you coaching is a wealth sport. Do y'all not understand that? Do y'all the coaching is not for everybody. If you see me, like, for example, Soul Stacker, that's an educational support program. The only coaching is, like, I tell them, like, you got to do this because it's accountability, right? But the main thing is education. Those women in that program are responsible for doing the work. Coaching is self responsible. You have to be self led. In all of this, I can't guarantee that anybody's going to do what they say they're going to do. Are you kidding me? Just because you enroll into something and you sign on a dotted line and you give a payment to somebody, that doesn't mean you're going to have the result. It's up to you to get the result. You need the results. Unless you're paying an agency and they're doing work for you. That's a whole different conversation. But coaching is coaching. And some people will catapult so high with the coaching, and they get so nervous about holding that space that they just go right back down to the bare minimum because they scared themselves. But that's the beauty of coaching. That is the power of coaching. And sometimes you can shock yourself so fast that your identity didn't catch up to your ability to do the work. So you will go into high volume results and go up higher, but a lot of women stop. They will get they will get to 90K months and stop and go right back down because it's identity. So women will get online. This is why I said I'm not a girl's girl. I'm not. I'm not. I'm a woman, first of all. And I know women. Women will love you today and they will slash you with fangs tomorrow. So anytime I hear that I'm a girl's girl, count me out. I've seen it. I've been done the same way. And look, from people that I've helped, spoke life into, did things for free to help them, scheduling sessions on the side to get them out of the mud. And they will shift change, baby. And when I tell you Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I know what I'm talking about. And they will throw shade. They will. I said, no, you direct that towards me. Tag me. And I mean it. A lot of women cannot take being direct. They can't take you being direct. That's why a lot of women struggle with coaching so much because you can't take direct communication. You think it's an attack. See, I can take direct. I can take it. And see, a lot of women have not been properly fathered either. Because that's when I'm direct, you sometimes you can't take that because you want somebody that will hold your hand and tell you it's okay. You want a mother. And sometimes my masculine feeds into the child within. And if you don't know what that looks like, you will think that that's something. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I'm stubborn. I just don't want to. I don't want to hear that. Well, you need to go and find a therapist then, because that's an inner child thing. I don't do that. But what about trauma? I don't deal with that either. That's therapy. This is coaching. So when y'all see trauma informed, that's not my wheelhouse. I know everybody got trauma. Everybody has it. What's your point? Do you know how many times I've cried when a coach directly called me out about things? And I needed to hear it wasn't abuse. See, that's another thing. You think it's abuse. Now, if it's abuse if they're being disrespectful, right? But when a coach has your best interest at heart, sometimes it is. It's hard, tough love. Some women cannot take that. They can take it and they'll take it so far. Oh, well, because it's pushing you into a different place. And then there's bullying. Bullying is a character flaw. There's no integrity there. When you're calling out someone and you're being a bully because of a perception, and it's improper judgment of character of somebody else, and that's actually what is it called? What Megan sued that girl for defamation. You gotta be careful of stuff like that. You gotta be careful. Just because you don't have 100K offer, just because you think it's overinflation, does not mean it's overinflation. It simply means that people come forward because they want to come forward. And they want to work with you because of the value they bring. But people do not, nobody puts a weapon to your head and say, you need to take this 100K offer. Well, coach, there were people that mortgaged their houses and took second mortgages off. Okay, so if you allow a person, that's just like me telling you, well, why can't you take out a second mortgage? First of all, it's like, excuse me? Like that person said yes. That's an adult. You mean to you let a person tell you to take out a second mortgage and you really didn't want to, but you did it anyway? And then you want to call this person a scammer when you actively took out the second mortgage? You let somebody just talk to you like that. Unless you really wanted the results that bad that you took out a second mortgage. Do you see how that sound? You see when I talk about infantilization, that's what I'm talking about. I've heard of people taking second mortgages out of their house because they wanted it that bad, but they were already in business and they know how to take risks. That's not abnormal. But if you are saying I'm offended, I'm not taking a second mortgage out for some coaching. Okay, so that means that the outcome that they told you is not in alignment to how you want to do things. That's not what I want. I don't want it that bad. And I'm not taking a second mortgage out of my house. And that's okay. And you need to tell the person that. You need to be upfront. Like, listen, Fred, I don't know. I'm not doing that. Especially if they're constantly okay, so now we're getting into harassment. That's first of all, I'm not doing that. And you're not gonna bully me into taking a mortgage out of my house. You know how to speak up. You know how to say something. You know how to say this is not gonna work for me. And you move on. But this is because it directly happened to you, then you may have some ammunition to hold as an issue if somebody comes to you and say, this person kind of made me uncomfortable. They tried to make me take him over. Yeah, they tried to do the same thing, and I told him no. And that's crazy to me. And you can write a review or whatever. That's fair. I have invested 5 figures into into a program. I've invested 4. I've invested 3. And according to I've had families to tell me they wouldn't make a 4-figure investment in their well-being like I did. They want me to tell them what I'm learning in the program, ma'am, out of my face. And this is the thing too. That's why I didn't really tell people what, and I get it, Courtney. I didn't tell people what I was doing because I knew that most people think that investing in themselves is a scam when we have a post-secondary educational system that takes six figures and give you debt for degrees that you will never use. And if you do use them, there may be an end cap because like we're seeing right now, AI is taking over. So all these degrees, so we don't get to get a refund. We don't get to go back to the institution and say, um, I didn't get a job or I'm not using my degree or you promised me something and it's not working. You know what you do? You shut your mouth and you take the L. But as soon as a coach comes in and, oh, now you're holding feet to the fire. And I'm like, you don't do the same thing with these master's degree programs that y'all are enrolling into every 3 to 6 years. But you got to remember there is a luxury market. Coaching is only a scam to people that don't see the value in coaching because they're look at their life. They're not going anywhere. A lot of people don't even go after free mentorship. I tell people all the time, if you wanted to Google things, we would have all kinds of millionaires right now. YouTube is full of value. Why do you think people don't go to YouTube? Why do you think people don't look at free lead magnets and stuff like that? Why do you think that they sign up for free classes and free, this, that, and the third, and they don't look at it? They don't even open their emails. There are people right now that have gotten my free everything. Go to my I tell people go to my YouTube. I got all kinds of stuff on there. They don't go and look. Because there's no skin in the game. When people pay, they pay attention. That's not incorrect. This is why your life is not moving because you don't pay to play. This is a capitalistic regime. Why you charge for everything? Why are you coming to me if you don't have any money? Dude, why go to somebody else? That's the kind of stuff I be talking about. Like I wouldn't and see this is the audacity I don't understand of some people now, especially the post pandemic people. Um, I would never like I guess because I came up in a different era when it come down to coaching. I respect all of my coaches, all of them. I could never come to coaches the way that some people come to them and even mentors. I respect them because the work they put in and the amount of credentials, and I'm not even talking about from a letter standpoint. A lot of people trained for who they have become to be. They did the legwork. Respect is order. I don't look at coaches like, this is my sister. This is hey sis. No, I don't everybody I done paid. I thank God for them. They're not my sisters like that. One coach that I invested in, me and her friends now. But I still have respect. I wouldn't dare ask her to help me and not so. If she offers me something, I'm gonna thank you so much. And I would honor that. I've had former clients, and am not saying to do this, but this speaks to the character, right? I've had former clients that I have coached for years and years before would send me just to see if they saw a live or something, they would send a seed. They would send gifts. Coach, this is just my appreciation. I just wanted to share with you, tell you da 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 da. Da. Can you send me your da 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 da? And I'm not like I said, I'm not saying to do this because I've done the same thing. I know who to sow into because it's a return. So that's why I said like It's a respect thing. It's a respect thing. And you have respect for people who have taught, you have respect for people that have mentored you, who have poured into you. I still like Dr. So and so. I call people back when they get their doctors, even if they tell me, uh, Coach, you ain't got to call me that, or Jay, you ain't got to call me that. I still say because you work for it. I call you Doctor Whoever. Even I've had clients to enroll in my programs that were doctor this and doctor pharmacist doctors, and I would still call them Doctor So and so. And they would, oh, Coach, you ain't got to do that. Yes, yes, I do. That's respect. That's protocol. You worked hard for that. Why wouldn't I call you that? But we have such an informal society, and this has nothing to do with superiority. This has nothing to do with this person is better than me. This has nothing to do with uh uh I don't see everybody but that's why you at where you at, because it's not about that. It's not about superiority. It's about respect. It's about respect. And it's about respecting other people's business and their own marketing protocols. And anytime I post online, I think people also need to understand women have this bad. Stop thinking that every single post is for you. It's not always for you. Sometimes y'all get triggered because you know it's for you and you don't want to own that it's for you. I don't tag anybody in my posts, but women get offended. Now here I go. Let's cap it back. So, Coach, why you say what you said to that lady? Because I'm defending the industry and ain't nobody gonna say anything. So I decided to be the leader. And look, as a result, I got people following me right now because I said what I said. Do good work. Focus on doing good work. Respect begets respect. Period. What does mind your business mean? Protecting your energy by not entertaining things that don't move your life forward. Not every opinion, crisis, or storyline deserves your attention. Most of the world's noise isn't your assignment. Take responsibility for things that are yours. Your decisions, your content, your goals, your money. Stop comparing and competing sideways and throwing shade and all this other stuff. Shut your mouth and work. I said, all this bullying. I mean, I said, there are women right now that got all these cute titles and they're nothing but bullies. They're just bullies. I'm coaching from my platform. I don't bully. I don't. First of all, I'm too old for that. I've never bullied a person in my life. Now, if you come to me and you try to bully me and then you get mad when I snap back, because that's the thing. Bullies don't expect you to snap back. They expect you to take it. They expect you to take the bullying. They expect you to lay down. They expect you to be defeated. You always defend your work. You always defend the industry you in. You change lives for a living. Are you kidding me? That's why I said in the United States, this is the only place that I know of off the rip that treats coaching like it's a school, like it's a gang, like it's a gang thing, a cult thing. Like what? Like what are we doing? I went down. I went and looked at what she. I saw that she was. Why do you have time? How do you have time to do that when you supposed to be marketing? don't understand it. I don't have that kind of time. How do you have time to do that? And then you think you're doing people a favor. It's a waste of time. We change lives here. Do good work because you want to do good work. Focus on your own book of business. I can't get people to post more than once a day. But you all in the huts talking about somebody else and talking about this person. I remember, I'll never forget it. This girl that I knew, she was a coach too. And it was this coach that was making millions of dollars. And I had been to her master classes. I had, and I was like, wow, this woman is really, really good. And she had really good points. And then, of course, and when you tell the world what you're making, then that's when all the fangs come out. I told y'all a lot of women cannot take other women being successful. They cannot take it. They cannot take it. They cannot take it. And I don't care what color you are. They just cannot take it because some people say, well, black women did it. No, baby, it's women, period. And you can have a slew of results. I mean, sleeves of results, right? And then, of course, in good fashion, they made this Reddit forum about this woman, right? And then they all talk about how they're gonna do a class action. Now, these are people that pay $22, $33, $40, whatever. These women that got together, right? I just heard about it, and they were saying all this stuff. And this person that I know, that I knew, because I don't even see her no more. She didn't quit coaching too. I told you they never last. They never last. And she was saying, "Oh my God, I believe that," because I just questioned her practice. I said, "Huh?" I said, "She's good. What are you talking about? She's amazing. I've been in her classes." It's just some things that I feel like this, but she copied somebody else complete. When I tell you copied, I'm talking about word from word from word from word. Her entire portfolio of offers. Somebody that she worked with copied her entire business model with the method. And when I tell you copied everything, I mean what I said. Just change the colors and change one or two words. I'm not kidding. To the point where the person had sent a cease and desist. Her attorney had to contact to get skirt took her whole business. The person I'm talking about that was accusing the other person. I'm like, girl, you did worse. And now she gone. So when I say I'm not a girl's girl, that's what I know women. I think we're amazing, but we also have a very dark side. I will always be kind to women. I will always cheer for us. And that's on an individual level. But all women are not created equal. I know this for a fact. We're not all on the same page. We're not. That's why I said, no, it ain't gonna be no matriarchy. What are you talking about? Women don't even like each other. Don't even like each other. And a lot of us are underdeveloped emotionally. Very much so. We don't have any type of order. We don't have any respect for one another. We don't know how to stop. We don't know how to chill. We don't know how to, go and say, you know what? Let me go and think about that a little bit because I think I didn't consider this. And then come back with it. You just vanish. You're not good at following up. We're horrible in communication. We don't know how to say yes and no. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Even if it's a request that, you know, you're you're not ready to hear or you still communicate. Part of being a leader is having good communication. We can't even do that. Anytime it's time to report results, you vanish. You don't come to the call because you know you ain't did it. So why are you investing in yourself and you're not going to do the work? Where is the leadership? How can you lead someone you can't lead yourself? Practice that. Practice leading yourself and being accountable to oneself as you ask other people to do the same. Don't get online and be talking about women, how women don't do this and women don't do that. And I'm looking at you. Mm-mm. You can't tell women what they need to do and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do. Do what you need to do. And see, when I say that, women start getting, they feel some type of way. You can't be a bully out here. You can't be a bully. You have to push through your own insecurities and become secure. You have to show up as a leader. I know I'm very brash with my writing. I know that, but I would never lead people to a place where I'm not willing to do myself in so many ways. I have the strategy I can help people with and take them to the because that's audacity. That's guidance. That's leadership. That's intuition. People trust other people with that. But it's also when I write online, it is about helping women to understand themselves and that we have to catch ourselves before we loop out and before we are our own worst hypocrite. We're our own worst critic. And then a lot of times I'm speaking to the potential in you, to the promise within, to wake up and be activated, to step up and honor your work. What is your work? Many of you have done the work and you have pressed through, and you have every right, spiritually and legally, to talk about your work online and to call it out. This is your time. And even if you don't feel like you're all the way there, you're there. You just got to show up. But coach, how can I? No, I'm gonna tell you what that looks like. When you post and say whatever you got to say, and then we don't see you for 2 weeks or 3 months. You don't talk to people. You don't communicate to people. You don't add to your. You don't make offers. You don't. There's one thing about always showing up online to talk about whatever yin yang, but you don't offer anything. You don't offer anything of substance. You don't offer anything of value. You're just talking. If you're going to be an authority online, be an authority online that actually teaches something. What are you teaching? I respect a lot of people online, and because when I see someone's writing, I know when they're just spilling off and venting because there's no end game. There's no lesson in the writing. I told y'all, treat your social media like class. When people come on your post, they need to learn something. But see, I've done this so long that I know how to, like, if my platform is my classroom. So you're going to get giggles, you're going to get value, you're going to get how to's, you're going to get offers to work with me, but you're also going to laugh and have a good time. That's how I framed it. But you also can and I love my community so much, and I'm not saying I'm over my community, but I love my community so much because um I'm never often feeling disrespected by my community, right? Even when people come in, they watch and they comment for the first time, they're coming in and they read the room. Everybody don't read the room when they come in. I'm very, very conscientious of reading the room. When I say read the room, that means I'm going on people's posts that somebody posted, and I'm looking at their posts and see if I want to stay. Because one post don't mean I want to stay. It could just be a really good post. So I have to kind of do a little bit, like two, three, or four posts, and be like, oh, okay, this person is legit. This is really good. And then I follow, right? Because they're saying things that I could potentially learn from. But this is a respect thing. Have to respect your work. Respect people's work. Follow people that you respect. If you don't see any value in what they're bringing, then just scroll. But when I call, if I did, if you go back to the post and I'm get ready to end, if you saw the post, if you look at the thread, one of the things I do is that not only am I direct with that person, but I'm also teaching in those said posts because I know it's not necessarily for that person, it's for other people that are watching me and listening and or reading, and they're catching gems, with hence why I got people following me right now on threads. And how people are coming to me when I posted that whole thread on Facebook, people are sending me friend requests because I'm saying something that they're learning from and it resonates. Do y'all everybody understand what I just said? I'm not only showing the conversation in so many ways, but I am showing the lesson in it. See, look at that. Threads brought me here. Welcome, Nicole. She said, I love listening and I'm in class teaching young minds to change the world. Yes, Threads brought me here. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Everywhere you go, you need to represent being an instructor and a teacher, a professor, a practitioner of your craft, a creator, a master creator. You every day you get 1% better at what you do. And if you're gonna call out bullies with education in mind. Don't just go, I just can't stand her. It's just something about her. You sound like a fool. Cause now you just being a darn bully. Who is working with anybody that it's just something about her? No, it's just something about you. That's you. We got enough of that going on in the world. It's too much going on. All the way from the head of state, all the way down to the any meeny miny moles on YouTube and threads and Facebook and TikTok. TikTok will take you up and down, round and round emotionally. We had too much of that going on. So who gonna step up and take charge? Who? Where are you at? That's why I always tell people like, okay, so you doing all this extra. Where are you? Where's your voice? Because I don't see you nowhere. If you care so much, why ain't you out here? Look, I need help. I can't carry this industry by myself. Where are you? And when I say where are you, I'm not talking about going after these people, right? I'm telling you to show up as a leader and teach and respond to people in a in an educational, respectable format that is firm, that anchors what you do and anchors who you are in this industry, whatever the industry is, education, is it tech, whatever it is, you show up as the anchor. My goodness. I mean, there's it's just too much going on. It's too much, it's too many people, men and women, that are just online arguing and crying and whining for no reason at all. That's what I said. A lot of people talking about, oh, I can't wait to, we need a matriarchy, or I can't wait to get to heaven, and I can't wait to get to the 5D. And if y'all taking the attitudes that y'all have over into any of these parts, I'm not coming. Why would I want to be in 5D with people that argue? That you're not crazy that is? Why would I want to why would I want to go with you over there? And you acting like something wrong with you. And all you do is whine and complain. And you're in escapism. You're over here and you're trying to hurry up and get somewhere else. I'm trying to get to 5D. I'm going to the new earth. I'm going here and I'm going there. With that attitude, you talking about going to heaven acting like a child? A bully? You going into 5D with that? Mm-mm. I'm all right. Because all you're doing is trying to escape. All that's exactly what's happening. So we have to reel it in. We have to get focused. You don't know what 2026 is gonna look like. I showed y'all what the economist said. If you go on my TikTok, I talked about what the economist, the cover story. They got chaos waiting on you. And if you was unraveling this year, you don't stand a chance next year. You're not going to be okay next year. They are going to get more and more chaotic as years go by. Mm-hmm. So Yvonne said, can't get it right here, but want to take that same spirit to the upper room. Ain't back yet. Like, they are crazy. Eternity with them? With these people? I don't know. She's looking at God like, you talking about them up here for how long? That's a long time. That's a meaning no end? Yes. Who all gonna be here again? I mean, my goodness. Look at this. Utopia with these people? I don't know. 5D? mm. Let me think about it. You talking about with these people? So you got something to Woo! Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. But mind your business, okay? Mind your business. Do good work. Have integrity. Do the best you can. Do the best you can. You're not perfect. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. There's a difference between doing things in excellence and trying to be perfect. What you want to be is you want to have the spirit of excellence, meaning you're conscientious and you're being considerate of the end user. You're being considerate of the experience of your customer. You're being considerate and kind and thinking about the ease of your because you don't want to make it hard for them. You want to make it a breeze for them to get results. But the process is the process, and that you can't forsake that. But to get to the goal, you want it to be packed without excuses. Have integrity in that and communicate when you cannot and communicate when you can. We're all going through this world together. And you don't make it any better when you're mean and bitter and a bully. All right. I love y'all. Have a great day and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.